Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And of course, good morning, mini Motorways. Let's go to Zürich for today's daily challenge. There will be double roundabouts and only four tunnels. Okay, well, that's not the end of the world. We've got a couple of big pieces of rock here that we'll have to drill through a handful of times, but only four. No more than four tunnels will be built today. But as always, when we have one of the options taken away from us, it means that we're likelier to get whatever it is we need in that particular moment. We've got red guys and blue guys. Hey, how about that? You come up to here, you snake along that away. We will maintain the integral philosophy of one business, one road, just as long as we can. Thanks to everybody who came out last night for Final Fantasy VI, which then turned into Power Wash Simulator because I got very frustrated with Final Fantasy VI. Oh, listen. It's a good game. It's just an old game. And sometimes when they made old games, there was this philosophy that the player shouldn't know what the fuck is going on. You shouldn't tell the player anything. The player should have to just click on any of the, 90 objects on your map, 88 of which aren't interactable. You just have to pick the right one. It's fine. Why didn't you click on everything, Goog? You should have clicked on everything, obviously. It's like I'm playing Myst. I don't want to play Myst. I want to play Final Fantasy VI. But I digress. So this yellow guy here is kind of a problem, right? I think there's something we can do about this yellow guy here. It's going to involve this red guy taking a very weird path, though. Because the red guy... Yeah, the yellow guy's going to have to do that. You can come up along to here, which is going to get you... Oh my god. Look at that. That's absurd. I think that's literally the best way to do that, but it's still absurd. And now this exists. Who voted for this? Nobody voted for this. Okay, hold on. Is there a better way to do this? Maybe. Samurai Sam wants to remember Buff Bagwell, which we can talk about Buff Bagwell. Here, I will lead with a true fact about professional wrestling, which I've told this story before. I know I have. Well, this red guy right here can just snake out that way, but I don't think either of these businesses can support themselves with just one dude for very long. So, that should be fine. It'll be completely and totally fine, actually. So here's a true fact about WCW. One time, Buff Bagwell was heel. He was in the New World Order, right? He had a little tag team career before that, and he was always one of those guys who looked like he was one big break and one big push away from becoming a major star. And, well, it happened. Sort of. He, unfortunately, and this is a bad way to start a story, but Buff broke his neck in a match. He was doing a move, he broke his neck. Shit happens in professional wrestling. It's dangerous. Don't do it unless you've been properly trained. And then, I would strongly recommend, you still don't do it. But shit happens. Buff broke his neck. It was very bad. It was very scary. He was out for a very long time, as you would imagine, what with a broken neck. Now, when Buff came back, when Buff went away, he was a heel. He was in the NWO. He was a bad guy. However, because going against some commonly held beliefs, professional wrestling fans aren't absolute dog monsters. Because professional wrestling fans are actually decent people sometimes, it is typically the case that when a pro wrestler gets injured and then comes back, the crowd likes him. They're happy to see him. because, you know, it's been a while since we saw this guy. This guy's really fun and good and entertaining. And also, yay, he broke his neck and now he can get back to doing what he loves and is good at for a job and money. Okay? All of these things make complete and total sense. So when guys come back from a long time away, they usually come back as baby faces, even if, as in the case of Buff Bagwell, they have been tremendous jerks. Okay? So Buff Bagwell comes back, and again, this is a guy that WCW has been looking to push for a very long time, right? This is a guy who has always been seen as a dude who's one break away from getting a big push and becoming a big star. Well, here's your break, literally. Do something with it. Okay? I'm gonna do something strange with this tunnel, by the way. I'm gonna kill it, is what I'm gonna do. But first, we're also gonna do this with you. I think this might be more efficient or just more wiggly. It's actually just more wiggly. So you're gonna come up here. These blues are gonna snake around. That's gonna mean these yellows are up here, and we can just motorway number 1 them up and over to here. That's gonna save one of my one of my 4 and only 4 tunnels, which is what I was trying to say. So that's gonna save a tunnel. It's also gonna get 2 yellow houses to serve this business, which is good. All right. Fuck. Man, business placement is not being nice today. Yeebers. Okay. I think the way we're going to have to do this involves not only a bridge, but also a second one of our 4 and only 4 tunnels. Making it even better that I took one of them back. So Buff Bagwell comes back from injury, and the first angle he's in is, Rick Steiner says, "Hey friends, I've got a buddy coming back. It's Buff Bagwell. Hooray! Everybody, welcome back, Buff Bagwell." And then Buff Bagwell turned heel by betraying Rick Steiner and revealing that he didn't need to be in the wheelchair that Rick had rolled him out on. He was just a bastard. Meaning that Buff was exactly back where he was when he broke his neck. Meaning that he missed all that time for nothing, and he wound up never actually becoming a big star. It's a true fact about professional wrestling and WCW. They had a golden opportunity handed to them on a silver platter and said, nah. That's very WCW of them. All right. This red business is mildly annoying in where it's positioned, but in its defense, only mildly. You can hook around that away. That'll be cool and fun. We will have yet another business being supported by one and only one house. I don't see how that can possibly be a problem. These 2 blue guys up here, however, are going to need to tunnelate themselves. You come out to here and then go up there. Thank you. Buff's career, in many ways, at least like from an outside observer, is the story of a guy who, oh, for Christ's sake. All right, well, let's do this then. We're going to do that, and then we're just going to have you swing out here, and these 2 reds are going to support this red business because there's no other reds to do it. It was a career of missed opportunities, some bad luck, and it should also be noted that Buff Bagwell was a bit of a prick. You can't properly tell the story of Marcus Alexander quotes Buff, end quote, Bagwell, without noting that Buff was also a bit of a prick. And yet, the more stories I think about, the more it seems like he was almost in a lot of ways, he was everything wrong with every wrestling company in the early 2000s. For instance, here's another true fact about professional wrestling, which I may or may not have told before. After the WWF bought WCW, after Vince McMahon won the Monday Night War and beat WCW and literally purchased the company, right? WWF got the idea that they were going to keep WCW going as a brand, right? Because, there was money in a war between the WWF and WCW, but the best way to do it was to make it big. Make it like really, really, really big, right? So, I should probably just 1B1R this, honestly. I could get fancy with traffic lights or something, but I should just 1B1R this and accept that I'm using a second bridge. It's okay. In a way, it was last Vince standing because Vince McMahon's company beat Vince Russo's company. Vince Russo was not like the owner of WCW or anything. Ted Turner and then AOL Time Warner was the owner of WCW. But yeah, Vince McMahon did beat out Vince Russo. Where was I going? Right. After WWF beat WCW, they got the idea that they were going to keep WCW going as a separate company so that somewhere down the line, they could do a big WWF versus WCW feud, and like maybe you could do like a cross-promotional pay-per-view every year or something like that, right? It's good. It's a good idea to have two different touring companies with two different names that you can pretend are, at constant war with each other when you also own the war, right? It's just good. It's a smart thing to do. It's a good, creative, clever idea. Here's the problem. 1, Vince McMahon is an egomaniac. 2, Vince McMahon is stupid sometimes. Here's an example of Vince McMahon being stupid sometimes, which is also perhaps an example of Vince McMahon intentionally self-sabotaging when he just wants to prove that he's better than everyone, which nobody was questioning at the time, but yeah, I digress. So, after decades of telling their fans that WCW was an inferior product run by dipshits and fuckwads that had no redeeming value to the professional wrestling industry. After decades of telling their fan base this, WWF goes to Tacoma, Washington, which I'm sure is a lovely town. It was not exactly a hotbed of WCW fandom. Okay? WCW was headquartered in Atlanta, and in its heyday, it ran its best shows in Georgia and the Carolinas. Okay? WWF goes to Tacoma, Washington for a Monday Night Raw show. And then, with very little advertisement, they tell their live fans, "Hey, friends, we got a treat for you tonight. The main event of this show is WCW. Yeah!" Would you believe it? The good people of Tacoma, Washington, who had paid money to see a WWF show and who had been told as a group for decades that WCW was bad and terrible, and who had never collectively seen WCW live because, again, they are in Tacoma, Washington, they were not happy with this. The crowd was displeased with the idea that they would be getting a WCW main event instead of their promised and advertised WWF main event. But okay, that's strike one. Listen, you've got to start a thing somewhere. There's always going to be hesitance when you're selling a new product, which functionally this was. Okay, it's a new thing. It's going to take time for the people to buy in, right? Well, here's the next thing. First of all, 1B1R is probably ruined by this red circle, because fuck this red circle. Although, I can just motorway these 4 guys. I forgot that I had a spare motorway. It's fine. I've got 2 bridges. Should I take traffic lights just to have traffic lights? No, I shouldn't. I'll take traffic lights just to have traffic lights next time. It's traffic lights versus bridges, if I still have all 3 bridges, okay? So in addition to promising the good people of Tacoma, Washington that they were going to get the product they've been told is inferior for decades that they didn't want and nobody asked for, in addition to that, WWF puts on a bad version of WCW in the main event, where they had Booker T, the reigning WCW champion at the time, probably the 4th biggest star WCW had. Booker T defended his title against Buff Bagwell, longtime career mid-carder who nobody actually liked, who by this stage in his career couldn't really fucking wrestle anymore. Now, Buff had a gimmick. Would you believe it? His gimmick was that he was buff. He patterned himself, a lot of his mannerisms and his look, on a Chippendales dancer. He had a big, muscular, oily chest. He was buff, right? He was buff, he was the stuff, and the girls couldn't get enough. That was his whole shtick. We're going to take a motorway. And as part of his entrance, he had a big, he was shirtless, he wore long trunks, and a lot of the time he had a big, airbrushed, ridiculously large, over-the-top hat. Right? He was not Big Papa Pump. That was a different, very muscular man who was, allegedly sexually irresistible to women because of how muscly he was. That was a different man. You have to keep these things straight. Buff was the one who had the big airbrushed, muscly top hat. Coffee Cafe suggests that we switch the communities serving the red circles. So that would mean that this hunk of red guys serves this, and this group of dudes goes over to there? I don't know if I love that, but Actually, I can still do this thing. Everything's okay. We're going to kill that motorway. You need to swing. What do you mean it's hard to keep track, Shunkan Splicer? I don't believe you. It's hard to remember which terrible WCW gimmick was which. Nonsense. Okay, so, these reds here, 1, 2, 3, are going to hook around and support this circle. The motorway, what I just destroyed, is going to be used to get these yellow guys into here to support this business. Just as soon as these this motorway goes away. Thank you. You, motorway number 2, go out to there. That's okay. Give me, why would I take 2 traffic lights when I can take 2 roundabouts? That's a legitimately good question. Okay. So Buff had a big airbrushed top hat, right? That had his face on it, and it said Buff, and it's the stuff, and he liked the top hat, right? Vince McMahon did not like the top hat. Vince McMahon, after buying WCW, told Mr. Bagwell, in no uncertain terms, he was not to wear his big stupid top hat when he went out for the main event on Monday Night Raw for a match against Booker T. Buff wore the top hat. Now listen, I don't know if wearing the top hat was a big deal. Wearing the top hat was not, in a vacuum, a big deal. It was, thank you for yelling at me, Sam. I just noticed that. You are a green guy, which, actually, you know what? These green guys over here are gonna go. Okay, you can't actually. Okay, fine. That'll work. Here, do this. So the 5 of you are gonna go up to there with you. And did I say 5 of you? I meant actually less than 5 of you. Can I get a roundabout in anywhere up here? No? Are we sure about that? We appear to be sure about that. Well, that sucks. In that case, I think the best way to get over here, Nathan, is... Yeah, this is not a good roundabout map. There are lots of tight squeezes and rocks. Tight squeezes and rocks might be the title of this episode, but it makes for bad roundabout times. So tight squeezes and rocks. All right. So the 3 of you are going to support this green business that I totally remembered existed way the hell up here. Meanwhile, we're going to take another one of our 4 and only 4 tunnels, and we're going to loop this guy up over here. Tiny little bridge it up that way. That's going to be so much better than anything we had previously planned. You can't believe how great it is. On the other hand, rather than motorway that, maybe the answer is boop, boop. No. Draw the diagonal line properly, Goog. Doot. And then straight through. And foot. Like so. Great. Murder that motorway, which means that we'll redraw the motorway exactly where it had previously been, which means we won't need the bridge, which means these guys will be fine. Okay. You 5, go do that. Remind me to motorway this as soon as this motorway can motorway. Here, motorway. Vavoosh! All right, the three of you are going to save that, right? Right? You are, in fact, going to keep this business from fucking dying? Yeah, it looks like you're going to keep that business from fucking dying. Hey, look, I have this choice again. Bridge or traffic lights. We'll take traffic lights. Because I'm not actually there. I have 3 bridges, and I took traffic lights, just like I promised I would. Fuck you. Okay. This red circle guy is mad about stuff, which I understand. Here. Listen, I'm hip, I'm happening, I get it. There's a 4th greenhouse down here. I'd have to bridge this. I could hook this guy in here, but I think these 3 are fine. These 4 supporting this circle, not fine. Oh, you mean this guy? This guy could get in there, but traffic light. Listen, Sam, there's walking involved. I don't think I'd make a lot of money, I don't want to say that I'm self-defeating and abandoning the idea before I even try, but I really don't think I would make money. So, yeah. Anyway, these 4 dudes right here are going to come up this way, and I think they're gonna support this guy, the circle. This guy, the circle, is gonna be A-okay. Next, we're gonna go up and over. Actually, no. Let's go down and below this blue guy before going up and over and then down and around. So these 2 support this business right there. All right, so the way we do it, Sunflare Space, is we do bang, add quote, and then text. So the way I like to do it is, the quote, and then the person and the date. So Goog is not a hooker, period, close quote, proper attribution, samurai, _ Sam, and I think the format is we use American dates because I'm bad and dumb and lazy. So, what's today? The Dosis? Yes, it's the Dosith. So it's 8/2/23. Anyway. So Buff comes out in his big, stupid, airbrushed top hat. And then, as if it wasn't enough that he had directly defied an order from the owner of the company what had just bought his company, in addition to wearing a big, stupid top hat, he puts on a terrible fucking match. And would you believe it, that a terrible fucking match, which the crowd was never going to like because it featured guys they don't know from a company they've been told is evil, and is ring announced by someone who's never ring announced before because they didn't hire David Penzer, they brought in Stacy Keibler, and is commentated by people who suck at commentary because Scott Hudson is not a play-by-play guy and Arn Anderson is not a commentator in any way. Would you believe it? All of these things conspiring together mean that putting on a WCW main event and a WWF show in Tacoma fucking Washington with Buff Bagwell and Booker T doing a terrible goddamn match doesn't get over. And because it didn't get over, they decided to kill the entire idea of WCW and WWF existing as separate companies. Because of this one show, which went so horrendously badly for obviously foreseeable reasons. Alright. This light dark blue business right here is dying. So, we are going to have to save it. Let's take these 3 dark blue guys. They're going to share a piece of road with... Hold on. Oh, you guys can't come through here and go southwest because... Oh, Sunflares, I was not worried that you couldn't read it. I was just noting and conceding the point before anyone even brings it up that American date formats are dumb. America does things dumbly. News at 11. All right, we're going to have to use our last tunnel to get these blue guys up over to here because they can't diagonal their way out to here because the off-ramp needs a space. All right, So you 3 blue guys are going to save this blue business. That's going to be okay. This yellow business is a little bit angry, but I'm sure that in the fullness of time, it'll actually be okay. You are a red guy who had been pointed the wrong way this whole time. I have 2 roundabouts I haven't used, so I might as well take a bridge that I might use. Okay. You could swap the blues. The blues that were serving the circle, could serve the square. I mean, I kind of disagree because I don't think these three, even if I was to pull like a couple more, I don't think all of these can serve this circle. I think, I think we're going to do that for these. The other square, this square? The blues that were serving the circle can serve the square. You don't mean these guys that I just brought over here as saviors, do you? Because they're kind of saviors. I don't exactly know what you mean, Coffee Cafe, but, ooh, problem. Problem and difficulty. Okay. Let's see here. These light blues want to get up to here. I need to get yellows over to here. Both of those are bad things. However, I can do one of those like this. You can be traffic lit thusly. That's going to get... No, I don't mind the back seating. It's just like I'm having trouble figuring out what you mean. So it's not like you're not saying like I don't even remember if it's in the rules or whatever, but like my general approach to backseating is, yeah, if you've got a suggestion, toss it. And if I like it, I might use it. And if I don't, I'll explain why. And at some point I'll say, rah, my decision is final, rah. But we have not yet reached rah, my decision is final, rah. What we have reached is an influx point with these light blue guys. They're going to have to come out to here and we'll traffic light this so they can support this circle guy. That's going to be okay. It would be helpful if I can tunnel. Okay, if you take all the top right to the blue circle and the dogleg road that was originally serving the circle can go down to the lower right blue. So these guys can, ooh. Oh. You know, I think you got a point there. We can kill this tunnel. I thought you were trying to angle to kill this tunnel, which I don't think would go well. But if we do this, then these 4 guys service this. These, however many guys this is, 8, yeah, 8 of you will swing. Hold on, what am I doing? What am I doing, Goog? Do it better. Work it harder, make it better. Harder, better, faster. You know how the song goes. That don't kill me and all that. You swing down this way. This is somehow not an actual road. There you go. Now it's a road. So now the 8 of you go through here, and this 8 actually probably is enough to get over to here, which is great because it means that these guys, once we get this tunnel cadedulated, will be able to come through here and save this guy's ass. We should draw this road right now before we have any hints of problems. You go over that way. Great. Okay. Give me a motorway. Does that motorway eliminate any of the tunnels that I've just drawn? Actually, yes, it does. This tunnel right here doesn't need to exist anymore. Why? Because we've got this motorway right here. This motorway, number 4, is going to save that tunnel, which is good because we have a limited number of tunnels. Okay. Now then, up here, I can sneak a roundabout in here. I can't sneak a roundabout in here? Mother bucket of futs. Okay, all right, you know what? This is still gonna work, kinda. You're going to go into the roundabout. I think I've been saying sneak a motorway when I mean sneak a roundabout. But, if you go into there, then, well, I don't want you to cut straight through here. That seems stupid. All right, fine. I was trying to get cute and have these guys support this business because, Lord, they look like they really could. Can I get a roundabout in here anywhere? Nope. Man, this really is just a dog water place for roundabouts, ain't it? All right. This light blue guy is probably gonna be fine. Maybe gonna be... actually, it's gonna be pretty close here. You're gonna get in. And you're gonna stem the tide, and okay. All right, we're cool. We're okay. All of this is fine. You've got dudes. You've got calm. You're not good. You've run out of dudes. Okay, so the last dude has to get back to his house and then come back over. That's not gonna fucking happen. We need to solve this now. Okay, well, here, more dudes. We're gonna borrow these 3 dudes from that road. You, and you go out to there. Go! Run! Save it! It's not gonna work. You're not gonna get there. We're dead. We're dying. No! Blast you! Curses. Curses and foiled and died. I got top 10%, which is nice, but it's not nearly as nice as Ghosty or Sam. Drop those ghosts and those samurai slams in the chat if you've got them. Damn you, Samurai Samra. Alright, it's Wordle time. Damn you. Oh. Alright, we're mixing up our first word. I don't know why, but we are. Would have been very annoyed if today was the day that great was actually a Wordle word. You can no longer Samurai Slam. Well, Sunflare Space, Trombone Dalek. There are reasons for that. There are options that you have. There are possibilities in front of you. No one is stopping you from, subscribing. I'm just saying. Lilith Fjord knows. Lilith Fjord is laughing at your lack of ability to drop a Samurai Slam. Look at that beautiful slam. You know you want to hit that slam. You know you want that button. Man. Look at all of these lovely emotes available only to subscribers at twitch.tv/the_Goog. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. Some of them were designed by Parlor Ghost. tinyurl.com/ghostbubble. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you are paying $34 a day for validated hotel parking. That's valid. Also, being unemployed is valid. Also, not wanting to is valid. There are a great many Twitch channels to which I personally do not subscribe simply because I don't want to. So, okay, you make good and fair points. I'll stop now. Anyway, this here Wordle puzzle. It could be faint. It absolutely could have been faint. It's not. It is not. But at that moment in time, it could have been. Let's see here. It's true. It's basically, it's the only thing I say during Wordle. That's not actually true. I do occasionally say other things. But, alright, realist of real talk. If you cannot afford it or do not want to, don't do it. It is nice when number go up. It is nice when digital check from Twitch come. But this is not my job. I am not paying my rent. You are not paying my rent if you subscribe to the channel. Do subscribe to YouTube, though. YouTube is free. It only costs a button. Click a button. Subscribe on YouTube. You bang YouTube. You're all watching on YouTube. Anyway. Could it be beget? It could absolutely be beget. I don't think that's how you spell debit, Sunflares. I know there's debit with an I. I don't think debit with 2 E's is a word. But we're going to find out if there are 2 E's in the word right now. Oh my God, it's beget! Wow! Okay, Wordle. That's a pull. Listen, it's a word. I get it. If I and a lady friend were to be, friendly in a certain way, we could make with some begetting. But well then. Cool. Listen, it's beget. It's a perfectly valid word. We have nothing else to say. Also, it's like 7:36, so let's try our hand at yesterday's immaculate grid. Why not? The only reason I know the word beget is because of the Reduced Shakespeare Company. They have they do a performance of the Bible, the complete Word of God, abridged, and I have the CD version of that, which includes a song about how they were begatten, everywhere begatten like the bunnies like to do. They were begatten, making babies happen, because back then there was nothing else to do. Just imagine like 3 funny people singing that instead of me doing Shatner talk over it. It's funnier. Anyway, we need Blue Jays and Astros and Angels and Mariners and Brewers. And a 30 stolen base season. Donating to the _Goog will encourage. That's true. That is true. Number go up, make brain feel better. Happy brain make show keep going. Listen. I'm not going to ask anyone to beget me to continue. That's a little bit much. That's a bit much. God, that's the most dated drop that I have here, even though I have one that is a decade older. One that is 2 decades older. And one that is like 4 decades older. Somehow the oh no drop is the one that is most dated. Coffee Cafe wants a treat for Nora, which there are the treats. I listen, I have a story about Nora. Hold on. Yes, Come to me, yes. I'm shaking your treat jar. Come here. Come get a treat. Hi. There's a good... Samurai Sam just redeemed Yakety Sax. So YouTube's going to be mad at me. Here, we're going to tell a story about Nora. So, lately, Nora has been clawing and scratching at the couch, trying to get at something that's under it, even though there's nothing under it, right? Well, yesterday... Hi, come here. Here, take this treat. All right, take the treat and then I'll tell the story. I'm not even going to scoop you to that. All right, Nora has the story. So she's been clawing and scratching at the couch trying to get under it, right? Yesterday, as I showed off during Power Wash Simulator, I got furniture risers. And last night, after our stream, I struggled mightily to get the furniture risers under the 4 legs of the couch in such a way as the couch is where the couch is supposed to be, and the couch is safely on the furniture risers, and the couch is at very low risk of falling off the furniture risers and squishing the kitty should she happen to be under the couch, right? I do all of these things. I get the couch into position. The cat immediately goes under the couch, right? There was, in fact, fucking nothing under the couch. There were no toys there. There was nothing of interest under the couch. However, now she is scratching at the underside of the couch. She has found a new scratch pad. It's the underside of my couch. You can't see it because the webcam is off because bang Goog cam. But I am doing a Jim Halpert level stare directly at the webcam. This fucking animal. She's a good kitty. Anyway. A Toronto Blue Jay who had a 30 stolen base season is probably Roberto Alomar. It seems like something Roberto Alomar did. Bingo, there we go. A Houston Astro who had a 30 stolen base season. Was Craig Biggio that fast? Craig Biggio was probably that fast. Wait, they had a leadoff guy. Oh, they had a leadoff guy who was really fucking fast, like a decade ago, who I can't remember. I might just be conjuring the image of Jacoby Ellsbury in an Astros uniform, which would be wrong. So, Maybe Jose Altuve did that. I think Jose Altuve did that. Let's play it a little safer and say Jose. Yeah, Jose Altuve did that. Great. Mike Trout has a 30 season, doesn't he? Mike Trout's got to have a 30 stolen base season. He's good at everything. Biggio did it too. Well, now you know. Knowing is half the battle. Great. Now let's put some teams together. Blue Jay, who was also a Mariner, is the stolen bases were the easy one. A Blue Jay who was also a Brewer is Paul Molitor. I've got that one. An Astro who was also a Brewer is Wade Miley. An Angel who was also a Brewer was Jeff Cirillo an Angel? Probably not. I don't remember Jeff Cirillo being an Angel. Well, let's go through who's on the Angels. Anthony Rendon was a National, but not a Brewer. Mike Trout's only been an Angel. Shohei Ohtani's only been an Angel. I have run out of people on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim who I can actually use. There's a prominent guy Sam has seen me use who was a Brew Angel. Okay, cool. Now I have Earth Angel from Greece stuck in my head, but like Brew Angel, so that's nice. Was Earth Angel from Greece? I might be making that part up. Anyway. Well, Prince Fielder was a Brewer and a Ranger, but not an Angel. Darren Erstad was an Angel, and he played for the White Sox. Remember Pedro? Pedro didn't play for any of these teams. Sad. Very sad. His brother Ramon, you don't think played for any of these teams. I do remember Russ Ortiz was a Blue Jay. I remember watching Russ Ortiz's career end when he was a Blue Jay. Was he ever a Mariner? I don't think so. Carl Everett was a Mariner. Was he a Blue Jay? No. Was he an Astro? Maybe. Was he an Angel? I don't think so. Mo Vaughn was an Angel. He was not a Mariner or a Brewer, though. Adrian Beltre was a Mariner. He was not a Blue Jay or an Astro or an Angel, but, you know. Carlos Beltran was an Astro. He was never a Mariner. Randy Johnson was an Astro and a Mariner, so there you go. That's one. Ricky Henderson was a Blue Jay and might have been a Mariner. Otis Nixon was a Blue Jay and might have been a Mariner. Steve Phillips was the general manager of the Mets and might have played at some point. Freddie Sanchez was a Tiger. That doesn't help. David Ortiz was, he played for the Red Sox and the Twins. David Pauly played for the Red Sox. Yeesh. What do you mean Freddie Sanchez was not a Tiger? Freddie Sanchez was total... Freddie Sanchez was a non-Tiger? I think he was a Pirate. Pirates are the same thing as Tigers. Bobby Dahlbeck plays for the Red Sox, or he used to. He's bad. Paul Levesque is a wrestler of some renown. Paul Ostenmacher played for the Guardians. before they were called the Guardians. Huh. Shit. You'd think this would be easy with the Mariners because they trade 1,000 dudes. J.P. Crawford played for the Mariners. But he was a former Philly, and that's it. So, it doesn't actually help me. Jeff Fry was a Blue Jay. One of your suggestions for Jays Mariners was right. Oh, God. I did say Russ Ortiz was a Blue Jay that I didn't think was a Mariner. Maybe I was wrong about that. Exclamation point, fuck it. Russ Ortiz was totally a Mariner. Everybody remembers Seattle legend Russ Ortiz, right? Or not. Carl Everett was totally an Angel, right? I don't even think Carl Everett was an Angel. Hey, I was right that I was wrong. Good for me. Steve Finley was totally a Brewer, and he was neither a Brewer nor an Angel. He was a Dodger and a Diamondback and well, we got 6. Ricky Henderson was a Mariner. Oh. The more you freaking know. All right, Teoscar Hernandez. Hey, I remember Teoscar Hernandez. Zach Greinke. I forgot that Zach Greinke was an Angel. Zach Greinke was an Angel? When the fuck was Zach Greinke an Angel? Huh. I'll take your word for it. It seems like the kind of thing that might have happened. Hunter Renfroe, the most commonly cited Brew Angel, which, okay, fine. Sure. Yeah. Also could have used Zach Greinke for Astros and Brewers. Could have done that. 'Tis a shame that I didn't. Everybody remembers Sean Figgins. Take a look at that gentleman's first name. That is pronounced Sean Figgins. Oh, I enjoyed Sean Figgins. And then he was a scrappy, slappy, speedy hitter guy for the Angels. And then the Mariners gave him what was for the time a pretty big contract. And he, as Samurai Sam noted, fucking sucked. R.I.P. Well, no. R.I.P. Sean Figgins' baseball career. You made a bunch of money, which is the point. Baseball is a profession, after all. Good for you, buddy. Not so great for the Mariners at the time, but hey, they had more money than you. They gave some of it to you. It's not your fault. Sunflare Space needs to come up with more American names, like Trevor. Not a good start. Not a good start for the baseball fans. And Sean. We just talked about Sean. And there's a Hunter. And a Jared. Listen, if you can think of a white person name, there has been a baseball player with that name. There have been baseball players of other races with other names, and if you think of their names, they've probably been here. But yeah, if you think of a white person name, there's been a baseball player with that name. Also, yes, Trevor Hoffman was a thing, and Trevor Hoffman is almost certainly not as bad a person as Trevor Bauer. Like, given how long he's been a public figure, he'd have to be very good at hiding it. Like, he'd have to be so fucking good at hiding it if Trevor Hoffman was as bad a person as Trevor Bauer. Well, I'm going to get sued now. Thank y'all so much for watching Good Morning Mini Motorways. We will be back tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock Eastern for another edition. And fingers crossed, tomorrow evening, we will kick off Detroit Become Human. But that is another thing for another day. For now, thank y'all so much for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.